Hello, welcome back to Ben Leo Tonight. Now, the Home Office reportedly tried to silence Robert Jenrick after he claims terror suspects had crossed the channel on small boats. I'm not sure if you remember, but in the Daily Telegraph article last year, the former Immigration Minister, Mr Jenrick, said individuals linked to ISIS had waltzed right in to Britain via the channel. But just 2 weeks later, it's now emerged that the Home Office's top civil servant slapped him down for speaking out. Well, I'm joined now by the man himself, Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick. Mr Jenrick, welcome along. Thank you for your company tonight. I was astonished when I read this in the Daily Mail this morning, sorry, the Daily Telegraph this morning. You were basically reprimanded by a top civil servant for daring to tell the British public that certified linked, well, migrants, let's be careful how to describe them, migrants linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda had crossed the channel into Britain. Do you think you've done something wrong by doing that?
No, absolutely not. Look, I was shocked and angry when I received that letter, but I wasn't backing down. I'm not going to be silenced by Yvette Cooper or her officials at the Home Office. It is absolutely right that the British public know exactly what's happening, and there are terrorists and terrorist sympathisers who are breaking into our country on small boats and on the back of lorries who pose a very serious threat to the British public. The small boats crisis, as I've now been saying for years, is a national security emergency. We've seen terrorists enter the country. The security services are literally tracking these people, and they've got a big enough job to do as it is without having to devote resources to that. We've had terrorist incidents. A man was killed in Hartlepool by a terrorist just last year. And we're also seeing states, hostile states like Iran, smuggling spies in through the small boats. This is a very serious situation. The Home Office, frankly, should not be trying to cover this up, but actually tackling it head-on to keep the public safe again. Yeah,
and I'm sure lots of people at home would agree with you and what you just said. However, the government would say that you broke or suggest you broke the Ministerial Code, possibly even the Official Secrets Act, by doing that.
Well, look, if they went to as much trouble trying to silence me or cover this up as actually getting on and tackling this, then we would all be safer for it. It is absolutely wrong that their first instinct is to cover up, not to get on, be open with the public about what's actually happening and take action. We've seen this time and time again. Look at crime that's linked to illegal migration. They refuse to publish the statistics. I've been saying for years now, and I'm tabling an amendment that's going to be before the House of Commons in September or October, to ask once again, let's publish the data on crime by nationality, by how you got into this country, by your visa status, by your asylum status. Let's have an honest debate and then, more importantly, act to keep the British public safe. And I simply want an immigration system and a response to illegal migration that puts the safety of the British public first, second and last, every single time.
OK.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private internet access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private internet access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GBNews discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GBnews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Robert, I hate to be the guy who rolls out cliches and says, but yeah, you were in power for 14 years. But why didn't the Tories call a national emergency when they could with regards to the small boat crisis?
Well, Ben, I am as angry and frustrated as anybody else. I resigned from Cabinet because I could see what was happening. I could see the consequences for the British public, and I was not prepared to put up with them. I argued that not only should we have the Rwanda policy, but that we should toughen it up by hiving out all of these human rights laws like the European Convention on Human Rights, end the merry-go-round of legal claims. So if you come here illegally, you get detained. You never walk the streets of this country. You never pose a risk to the British public, and you are immediately removed, either to Rwanda or, frankly, back home to your own country.
Can we talk about migrant hotels very briefly? There was some concerning reports from Nuneaton in Warwickshire breaking earlier today. We can't talk too much about that, but I was at the Barbican Hotel yesterday where there were protests, there were concerned mums and dads. This lot, the far left, we talk about jihadi terrorists coming over the channel, the far right is spoken about a lot. What do you make of these guys on screen, Mr. Jenrick? These are Antifa far left. I'd argue they're militants. They're wearing military-style face masks and balaclavas. Why is the far left never spoken about in this country?
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely disgusting. Look, I wasn't there on the ground, so I don't know exactly what happened, but I could see peaceful members of the public, residents, women, like mums and grandmothers who are very concerned about what was happening. And then these Antifa thugs wearing masks, trying to hide their identity, posing a serious risk to the public. The police have got to take action against them, or else we're going to see more accusations, more concerns about two-tier policing. I'm very pleased tonight to hear the statement from the Met that they're not banning protests outside the hotel, the Britannia in Canary Wharf, because it's absolutely right that the public can have peaceful protest, legitimate assembly outside these hotels so that they can make clear their deep concern. Because I think the patience of the British public has snapped. Frankly, it snapped a long time ago, and people should be able to voice their concerns. The hotels have got to end. We've got to be deporting these people. I thought that the most emblematic thing that's happened this weekend was actually that photo, which you showed on GB News, of illegal migrants in the window of the hotel, looking down in the window of their taxpayer-funded luxury hotel, laughing at people. They were laughing at us. They were laughing at the government. They were laughing at the uselessness of the government. Each and every one of those men should be deported as quickly as possible. OK, Mr. Jenrick, thank you very much. Apologies, we are quite squeezed for time. I need to read this statement from the Home Office as well. The Home Office did not comment on your case, Robert, but for background, former ministers remain bound by the ministerial code, which outlines standards of conduct. As a Privy Council member, they say Mr. Jenrick is also subject to additional confidentiality obligations. It's understood that officials routinely remind both current and former ministers of their responsibilities under these rules. Any quick reaction to that? Very quickly, like 10 seconds. Well, I'm not backing down. The public deserve to know what's happening. There's a national security emergency. Why doesn't Yvette Cooper and her officials come out and say what they are doing to keep people safe? And the only thing people care about is get these men out of the country, support them.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.